finding the right person, is he does he want to be part of creating something that could be a lot bigger than any of us, or he wants to be, he's just fine being grain of sand in a large ocean, in front of a large ocean. That's what a large company is all about, right? So it depends on the person. And you wouldn't want to hire a person who is content with being that paper pusher or a key puncher in a large company, if I may put it that way, right? Not that large companies don't do good work, but there you're part of a team and the team does all the work. Here you are actually making the difference. You are defining the product, you are developing major portion of the product, you are defining the market, you are developing the market, you are, I mean, you are being part of that, you know that revolution. I mean, I remember once I met a person who was employee number 10 or 11 at WhatsApp. And WhatsApp was sold for $19 billion, and it had only 30 employees, 32 employees. And you can imagine that there may have been many billionaires out of that, not just millionaires, many billionaires out of that. And everybody made more than $100 million. And I can also tell you that I think I remember at that time, I think $19 billion acquisition actually ended up becoming 40 billion because Facebook stock doubled or something like that. And so people made, I mean, there are success stories like that. Of course, there is a risk behind every success. There may be thousands of failures, but I mean, when are you going to take risk in your life to become part of a success story, which could be that you could be next WhatsApp, you could be next Facebook, next Google? That's what is startups. That's what is every startup all about. The dream of creating something that is beyond even your dreams, right? I mean, we can all dream based on what we have been exposed to. When does a reality that is beyond your dreams get created for you? That's a good quote, huh? Creating a reality beyond what you can dream is what startup is all about. Provided you're in that space. Now, that's that kind of, I mean, I did startups where we ended up creating the markets, I mean, a new market in our space. Suppose I'm doing a chip. First one was a chip. Second one was doing a software, a category defining software. I mean, if you do that, I mean, there is a chance you could be the next WhatsApp, or next EMC, or next Dell, or next HP. And so if those are the kind of dreams you have to sell to people, and if you are good at creating, I mean, if you're good at selling that to someone, it means you are good at creating it. That's a requisite. If you're not able to hire people, it means you should rethink. Are you convinced yourself? Your conviction should, why there was a time I used to think, why do I need to raise money? Then I realized, unless you raise money, unless you sell your dream or your concept of a dream to someone, and you sell him enough so that he's willing to write a check for you, you're not worthy of creating that. If I mean, that's why, I mean, funded startups, I mean, if you think about the percentage of funded startup versus non-funded startups, venture funded startups succeed. I mean, you'll find, I mean, it's perhaps 90-10, or it's 99-1 or something like that. Very few self-funded startups succeed, right? And I think the reason is because you have, while in the journey of selling your concept or that reality beyond your dreams, be in that journey of selling that, you are convincing people, you're convincing investors, you're convincing your partners. And it is every time you convince somebody, or every time you explain it to someone, you yourself get convinced, and you are refining, also find out your problems in that dream, or that reality beyond your dreams. So you keep changing your concept, and then you eventually come to the right concept. I mean, we have seen that in multiple of these scenarios, that what they initially decided to do and what they actually ended up doing, they were two different things. How does the journey play out? The journey play out through this, you know, by you're talking to another smart guy, convincing him to join you, and he try to find holes in this, and then you realize, yeah, this guy is smart and he's telling me the right thing, whether you end up hiring him or not, or whether he ends up joining or not, but you learn something for free.